Hi there, I'm Karsten. I'm the co-founder of Meta Startup Studio, and this is the 100K Academy where you learn hyper-practical skills to start, run, and grow a purpose-driven lifestyle business. So today we're going to talk about the best marketing strategies for lifestyle founders when just starting out. And the context to this is that we often get the question, how do I get started? I have my business now, I have this skill I've learned, I want to start a business. Like, how do I go about it? Like, how do I start marketing myself and start, generating sales in a fresh business? So the main point I want to make for this today is when you're just starting out, your main goal is to validate your core business offering and your business model. So basically what you sell to your target audience and how you sell it, so it's easy and attractive for them to buy from you. And in this phase, cash flow tends to be not the highest, right? Cash flow tends to be low, and you don't want to burn your runway. Your runway is the money you've saved up that allows you to, spend some time starting and growing this business without having to really be profitable, or without having to be profitable to the extent that it fully, funds your lifestyle, the lifestyle that you want to live, right? So you don't want to burn this money unnecessarily fast and without having figured out a repeatable sales process. So, a way of how you for sure know this generates leads, this converts the leads, and they're going to pay. And this process always works. Unless you have that, paid ads are very likely to burn a lot of money for you. So your main focus should not be on paid services, but on organic marketing and sales. With that said, even if you do have a big runway or you already have a repeatable sales process in place, you should absolutely sense check yourself if you already have all of these potential organic networking and sales channels covered, that I'm going to introduce you to now, because they all are extremely viable paths. They're easy access paths, and they might just double, triple, quadruple, 10x, whatever you have going right now. So let's dive into the different marketing channels that I've been talking about. And it's all very easy, simple pointers and ideas and channels to approach, but they're all highly effective paths to generating and growing cash flow for your business by, for one, just spreading awareness and getting out there to everywhere where you can reach right now in your business. And given your, financial constraints that you potentially working within, and also finding the sales channels that actually work for you, using what you already have. And this is something I want to highlight as well. So many people want to go out there, and this is not wrong. You should go out there and learn new things and try out new things and new paths and, build up something new. And that's fun as well. But it's going to delay your path to impact. So if you're already using what you already got right now and focus on this, you are much faster to generate cash and much faster to generate experience, much faster to generate confidence. So this is really what I would urge you to do. Also, focusing on what you have, getting this experience in will create so much clarity for you of where you want to take this business. What's the business model that works? What's the type of offer that works? If you spend too much time on learning and building new things, only to later find out, you still haven't figured out your business model, that's a lot of time and money invested for potentially nothing, right? So that's the main idea here. So with that said, let me show you on my screen something. This is a Google Sheet. Let me just put this up here. Oh no, actually, I'll leave it here so you can see it in a better way. So what you see here is the Get Clients Bootcamp tracker. That's one of our services where we teach how to get your first customers, how to get more customers, how to do this using a structured approach to personal branding, a structured approach to generating interest and getting out there. And it's basically a foundational sales course. And this is one of the documents there. And this is the channels I want to talk to you today. So on the left-hand side here, let me zoom in on this. You see there is a bunch of different B2B and B2C sales activation channels, as we call them here. And I'm going to speak to each of them. And these are the channels that I would highly urge you to activate, the channels I've been talking about just now in the introduction. So for one, it's personal contacts that are ideal customers. You are very likely to have, your ideal customer target group in your network. If not, I would highly urge you to take a step back, watch one of our videos about, niching down, picking a profitable niche, because the same logic as I mentioned before, if you pick a niche where you don't have access to, you're going to delay your time to experience and confidence and clarity. And that's going to cost you a lot of time and money. So, what are all the contacts in your network that are your ideal customer, that fall into that customer group? Contact them about your offer, contact them, about like, hey, can you help me? Let me interview you. Like, I want to understand, you're this kind of person, right? Like, what would you want? Like, understand from them in their words what they want. There's other videos which we can link after the episode where we talk about how to conduct interviews, customer discovery interviews, so you really understand what to offer to your ideal customer. But you can also just spread the message. You already have drafted, let's assume, your offer. Maybe you have a landing page, a sales page for that. You can share this with them now. Like, who is in your contacts? Check your WhatsApp, check your phone, check your Telegram, whatever you're using, check your social media channels. Who are friends of yours or contacts that you've made who fall into this bucket of ideal customer? And write them a natural message. Hey, I'm just starting out. This is what I've got going here. Like, let me know like how it sounds. I would love to get some feedback. Maybe you're interested. I'm doing a special launch offer. Maybe someone else who might be interested, because people who are ideal customers tend to know other ideal customers. So really use personal contacts and reach out to your customers with that. Now, the other types of contact that is worth reaching out to is not maybe an ideal customer necessarily, but someone who knows a lot of ideal customers, right? So if I'm a career coach and I help people grow their careers, I could see who is in, if I'm a career coach to help you grow in a Fortune 500 from senior manager to director level, this kind of step, then I can search for these people in my network. That's the first point I explained, right? Who is already a Fortune 500 employee in a senior manager position? Likely they're going to want to grow and promote themselves to director position. So I can reach out to these people directly. The other thing would be contacts that know a lot of ideal customers. So you may know someone in a Fortune 500 company that could connect you to a lot of people like this. If you don't have this contacts yourself, you could reach out to HR managers, that talent development managers that you have in your network within such companies, because one talent HR kind of manager that buys into your services and makes it an official offer internally in their company to their senior managers, that's right away one person you need to convince. But then you have, it's big companies, Fortune 500, you will have thousands of potential customers right there, right? So think about how can you not just reach out directly to people, but how can you shake, not just collect individual apples, but shake the apple tree. Who has a lot of types of people that in your network that are your ideal customers. All right, so next one is mobile messenger groups. So also, you may be in WhatsApp or Telegram groups that are topic specific. This could be, your hobby crew. This could be, like business related channels. This could be anything, family, friends. Use all the groups you're in and throw to them what you got to offer. Raise awareness, because even if in your family group or extended family group or friends study friends group from back in the day, there's people there, you think, oh, none of them are customers, but by throwing it out there, they may make a connection between a good friend that they have or someone they know, and they see your offer and, oh wow, or someone talks to them at a party the next day, and then they are like, oh yeah, my friend actually is just doing, and they connect you, right? So there's a lot of potential in those groups, even if they're not directly related to your niche and your business. Then let's talk about personal profiles. So here you see the different channels, because in the program, we're tracking these channels individually, but you can just lump together Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, X, YouTube, on all those channels, you can create posts that spread your message to your network. But don't have the illusion that one post is going to be seen by people. You know, like very, 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 very few amount of people in your network actually see a post that you're posting. And those that apparently saw it according to, you know, impressions achieved, they may have just seen it for a second, got distracted, moved on, never actually read anything that you wrote, right? So do not assume one post is sufficient. Keep posting, push your message to social media channels. That's, you know, a lot of contacts. Like imagine if you have 500 followers, even, you know, or even just 100 followers, right? You have 100 followers on your Instagram profile or whatever. That's like a room of 100 people where you can spread your message. That's amazing if you think about it this way, right? Use these channels. And you can also comment, right? Posting is one path, but another path is commenting. So if you have in your network, you know, in your social media, people who are senior managers, they likely are connected, you know, to peers who are also senior managers. So if you are now commenting on things that they are writing, especially if it's like maybe work related, you know, and you kind of suddenly bring in that you do something in this space, it might create interest even from their people in their network. Oh, what did that person say? Let me check out who's this person. And on your social media profile, ideally, there's an easy way for people to understand what you're offering and what you're doing as a professional and as a you know, fresh business owner. So that's commenting and DM, of course, right? In your social network, like if you post, it's still very generic. You have the possibility to reach everybody, but also people don't feel spoken to as directly, you know, so to increase the chances of getting feedback, of being seen, DM those people directly that are in your network that are ideal customers, that are people, you know, as I talked about before, who know a lot of ideal customers potentially. And even just old friends that are close to you that you can trust, and they trust you, and they would spread the word for you in case they hear of something. You never know, they might just know the exact person that can give you a 100K, 200K, 500K deal that you never even imagined could be possible, right? So the same is with groups. On Facebook and on LinkedIn, at least, you do have groups that you can join, you know, groups related to specific niches, or a specific type of people, you know, yoga trainer group or whatever. You know, there's different groups, expats, in Berlin group, whatever it is, right? There's lots of different Facebook and LinkedIn groups that you can join. Join those that make sense for your niche. Post there. Consider, you know, sometimes there's limitations. You cannot post links. You're not supposed to advertise yourself, but there's a lot of ways you can, you know, get people to understand what you do without posting a link, without, you know, necessarily making a commercial offer so directly. You can also comment on people, right? If there's a group of, you know, career growth, like hacking or whatever, let's assume that's the group, and you're a career coach, right? If someone is writing, they're like, hey, I'm in this, you know, thing, and like I wanted to do this and I tried this, it didn't really work, or like I'm struggling with this, anyone have any tips? You can give value, you can comment, you can give your opinion, stand for something in your niche, give your opinion, give your tip. And, you know, this might be your way to, you know, for people, again, to check you out, for people to dive into your DMs. You can also offer in the comments, hey, this is what I would do, give some initial value. If you want to go deeper, DM me, and I'm happy to jump on a 15-minute call just to iterate on what I mean with what I just said, etc., etc. Right? So use those groups. And then we have, let's see, Meetup events. So meetup.com is a platform which hosts a lot of networking events. Likely you already know it. Go there, join these events, you know, that are relevant to your niche, where your ideal customers hang out. Join as an attendee. That's great. You can see other profiles. You can meet and chat with people. This can be digital or physical, by the way. You know, search for everything happening in your city, in your environment, your wider city environment, but also look for digital things happening across the globe in relation to what you do. That way you reach customers, you know, wherever they are. And an even better way to leverage these groups is to join them as a speaker. Contact the owner of the group, say, hey, I have some value I can give to your audience. I'll do it for free even, you know, like I would love it if I could, like, you know, position this kind of topic, give my opinion, teach something. And, you know, if it's okay with you, at the end, I would position like a way how people could work with me if they're interested. And you can just have this conversation with the group owner to see like what they're comfortable with and whatnot. In any case, you know, whatever they say, I would take the opportunity and talk to these people for free, even without positioning myself, because just by being there, speaking as an expert about a topic, guess who everyone's going to talk to afterwards? To the other attendees, or are they more likely to talk to you as a speaker, right? Because now they have your contact. So that's something in relation to the meetups. Now, another path is niche social media influencers. So if you're thinking about, you know, your niche in which you operate, what are all the types of influencers? The really big ones, but also the ones that are, you know, just maybe a few steps ahead of you, but they are already like, you know, you're maybe starting with, what did we say earlier, you know, 100, 500 followers, and they already have 2,000, 5,000 followers. You know, you can collaborate with these. You can find these, you know, ask them for collaborations, ask them to, you know, comment on their posts, see who is commenting on their posts, and you can then DM these people or comment on the comment, right? So that way you start becoming seen, start to become seen by people who are interested in this influencer as well. And that might trickle over to potential customers for you later, because why are they following this person who's in your niche? Because probably they're interested in solving something within that niche. Now, the next thing is to create your own events. So this is your own workshops, your own networking events, your own masterclasses of whatever sort. You can put them on LinkedIn, do a LinkedIn live, do a LinkedIn event, do a Instagram live. You can do like just a Zoom masterclass that people can sign up for. Anything is possible. There's a lot of ways, you know, how you can do this and how you can position this and execute this kind of events. But absolutely explore this, because, you know, by putting these events out there, again, through a post, through partners, whatever, you know, by doing this, you will then attract people who are a relevant audience. And these people, you now have their information, you understand who they are. Often when they sign up for these events, you know, I would highly encourage you to collect their data so that you have a path to reach out to them again after the event. And of course, during the event, at the end of the event, or somewhere in between, you can position, you know, the way you work directly by just making a big call out about it, or indirectly by just weaving it into the conversation, right? As I mentioned earlier, this sheet that we're looking at is from one of our sales programs, where we teach sales for early stage business owners. It's called Get Clients Bootcamp. I mentioned this earlier, I'm mentioning this now again, right? But it's not my main thing that I'm positioning it right now. So then you, after exploring this as well, think about gastronomy, right? Like we're all living somewhere, and there is, you know, our customers also need to eat. Our customers want to go for a drink in a bar, for a coffee somewhere. And, you know, depending on where, you know, they hang out a lot, where their hobbies are, where their work is, where they live at home, you know, what neighborhood they live in, depending, if you know any of these things that are common between your audience, you probably would understand which kind of coffee shops, bars, restaurants are more attractive for them, and where a lot of them are potentially hanging out or passing by. And you could contact this gastronomy owners and understand, you know, can I put a flyer? Can I put a poster? You know, maybe even, you know, some of them are like more looser concepts where they are open to having even a speaker there at some point in a bar or something, or like in a coffee place, you know, for an hour or so, or even for half an hour, like a speed talk, like a lightning talk or something, whatever you want to call it. And then there's non-competitive professionals who are operating with the same customers that you are targeting, right? So if I am someone who is helping young parents figure out all the admin and all the you know, all the organizational elements, and learn about, you know, what it means to get a baby, like how does it work, how to treat the baby, first aid courses for it. If I'm someone who offers all of these services to fresh parents, going to a women's doctor and partnering with him or her, that would be a great partnership, because that's a non-competitive professional. They are doing something very specific in their field to support these fresh becoming parents, and they're not threatened by you helping them with, you know, further steps, additional steps that are also related to this journey of becoming a parent, right? So this is a non-competitive professional who you can create collaborations and partnerships with, leave a flyer there, leave a poster there, you know, even offer all of their people a 10% discount or whatever it is, do a little talk in their praxis, have them send an email to their email list if they have something like this, if they're more forward thinking, praxis, for example. So really think about these kinds of partnerships that are non-competitive, but still have the same audience as you. And then the same goes for local related retail stores. So these are stores where, you know, if you are, again, if you're targeting fresh parents, so this is like in Germany, it's like baby one, you know, where you buy all the initial baby equipment, like a buggy, like those little first toys they can touch and play with, you know, all those things, like those are relevant. There's going to be fresh parents there, right? I can put my flyer, my poster there. I can have a little talk there in a corner of the store. That could be really cool for them. They can promote it as there's something interesting happening in our store. And also we have a special offer of all kinds of great products, right? It's a win-win. So find these win-wins, reach out to these local retail store owners, make these deals, you know, like some of them will answer you, some of them won't, that's okay. Some of them will not answer you immediately, follow up with them, right? In this sheet, if I zoom out here, you will see, you know, there's also like follow-up frequency. And for you to really systematically do this, don't just do this randomly. Don't just be like, oh, I reached out to someone, let's see what happens. But really track, write them down in a list somewhere. I'm going to drop you this list. You can get access to this part of the tracker, to your activation and outreach tracker. You can get access to this below the video. I'll post the link there. So you can start tracking it within here, right? What is the contact or group or company name? What's the website or URL of social media or whatever it is? What's the email, phone, if you have it, if it's relevant? You know, have you done a mini interview? Again, I said one of the videos linking afterwards will link to how to do that and why we highly encourage you to do this in the early stage of business building. Actually in any stage of business building, but especially if you have not done it, and especially if you're just starting out, you know, what's the channel you reached out to that person through? You know, what was your message? When did that happen? When was your last outreach? You know, and then based on the last outreach, you know, when should you reach out again if they haven't replied to you yet? What are some of the notes you had from reaching out to them? You know, if they replied, you would capture some notes here, for example. So this is then a very structured way, and very systematic way of reaching out, and make this list at least 100 and use AI. You see other here, right? Ask AI, hey, I have already thought about people in, right? Like, what if any other organic channels are available to me, or within each of them, right? Within, you know, Facebook and LinkedIn groups, what are the types of groups I probably should be joining? Or what are the types of retail stores that have the same target audience as me? I have this target audience. Give me the top 10 in Berlin that would be relevant for me to reach out to, right? Use artificial intelligence tools, use ChatGPT, whatever you're using. It's genius for brainstorming. We use it every day. I use it every day on everything. And it's just such a productivity enhancer. Also, you know, as a lot of what I just talked about was about posting and getting out there, there's a lot of times insecurities. Yeah, but how do I get out there? How do I do this? So we have a content creation foundations mini course, which is free, where we just talk about, you know, just some content creation basics and how you can get started positioning yourself through content. So I also leave the link of this below this video. And yeah, so summarizing what I've just said, make you know, think about where you're at in your business building stage, and you know, highly likely it's relevant for you to explore all these organic sales and marketing channels as you're just starting out with the business. So make a list of what are all the types of contacts and businesses and potential partners and stores and cafes and influencers that you can and should be, you know, talking to, commenting on, posting, like building partnerships with, DMing, etc. Put this list to at least 100. After you've done this, craft your reach out messages, reach out to people. You can have a standard message, which you then start personalizing. Watch the Content Creation Foundations mini course if you feel insecure about, how to post content, how to generate content, how to write copy. Look at that. It's a small course, but we explain a lot of the valuable basics there. And then use a tool like this tracker, for example. Build your own tracker, whatever you want, to actually track what is happening with your outreach and to keep yourself kind of organized to, reaching out again and again. Because if people don't reply to you, please, please, please do not take this as a personal offense. They're not reaching out to you as a reply because they're probably freaking busy. Poor them, have a lot of stress and a lot of life stuff happening every day, all day long, just like you. And they probably really wanted to reach out to you, but they just didn't get to it. It was just too much. And maybe they won't reach out to you right now, but if you check in again a few days later, if you check in again a week later or 2 weeks later or a month later, they very well will. So, keep this list going, like reach out 2-3 times within a month, within even a couple of weeks, actually, I would say. If they don't reply to you, give them a month of break, but then reach out again, right? Don't let this list go to waste. Reach out to every single one until they tell you, no, fuck off, I don't want to talk to you. That's when you can stop reaching out to them. Do not push the boundaries on this one. But, until they tell you this very clearly or until they agree to working with you, keep following up. All right, so I hope this made sense. I hope you took a lot of value from this. Please reach out to us in case of any questions. And the main thing, again, as we always say, is you got to implement this. If you don't implement this, nothing will happen. You just gained a lot of knowledge for no reason. So implement it now and get started. Pick one action, put yourself, something in your calendar for next week and get started with it.